again. Do you use the third valve slide for that first note, trumpets? I thought so. Because it wasn't sharp. It was a trick question, wasn't it? It sure does help the flutes, though, because your D and their C, yours is sharp, theirs is flat. It makes it really tough to get that in tune. Another place that I thought came off rather well was Fine 53, back up 5 measures. It's not just a note there, but there's a diminuendo. And the pitch was pretty good as you got softer. What was even nicer is when the triangle played the first note softly, ding, and then the next one a little bit stronger, ding. The third one was too loud. Your poor little triangle kind of went, ouch. But I could feel that it went ding, ding, you know, nice. And people heard that, and they responded accordingly. One of the comments I said, you know, you do things with subtle differences that he does. I mean, they're very subtle, but for some reason you catch all these subtle things. So, I mean, that's very exciting. There is a difference between beat 2 of 68 and beat 2 of 57. Yes? Okay. Well, some of you don't have beat 2 on 57, correct? But is the relationship between the first note and the second note the same in each of those phrases? Yeah, it is. One's at this level, and one's at this level. So the relationship between the two is something that you have to find. And he kind of gave you a hint at the beginning when he said there's a, you know, one of the idiosyncrasies, or I can't remember what word you used, but one of the idiosyncrasies of the piece is that there's a heavy accent on beat 2 at 57, then again at 68. Okay? Woodwinds, could you play at 57? Allegretto.
It's 9:22.
Thank you. Staccato, definition of staccato. Short and separated. Be careful that it's not too short, but it's relative to the tempo that you're playing. It's relative to the dynamic level that you're playing. Okay? Every staccato is not exactly the same. They're all very different. Okay? And when I heard your performance, I'm thinking, man, they've got technique. Man, they've got technique. You have technique. They have technique. There's a lot of technique. But you have to go, how short does that have to be? How short does it have to be? How accented does it have to be? And in 57, is every accent the same? Does it have the same weight every time you see it? Those are questions that you have to look at and then go, and then make musical decisions and go from there. Put that into the equation and try it again. it was much better than if I would have told you, I want you to accent this a little bit more, play those a little shorter, play those a little bit longer, play that longer, and get that first note, darn it. I didn't say any of those things. I just told you to think more. Okay? Music making is made up of the elements, right? Pitch, rhythm, the beat, color. What's the other one? Space. I think it's space. Anyway, and each one of those elements is very simple, but when you put 2 of them together, 3 of them together, 4 of them, all 5 of them together, then we create the magic of music. And it is the ultimate in multitasking. It's the ultimate in multitasking. And ladies and gentlemen, you are multitasking brilliantly. So continue to think. When you see a phrase, you think, okay, the composer's got all these things in there. How am I going to interpret that? Doesn't matter if you interpret it a little bit differently than that person, but you give each other energy when you interpret. And then you make musical decisions, and then the person next to you goes, ooh, that sounded pretty good, and then they start playing. Or they go, oh, that wasn't very good, and then they'll try to play it more expressively than how you play it. And so it's a friendly game. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that ever happen in rehearsal? It should, because that's when it's really fun. That's when it's really, and I can tell you, you people have a lot of fun when you're making music. And bravo to all of you, and congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
it.